regular board meeting of the Niles Main District Library for September 18th, 2024 at 7:03.
And let's see, Trustee Kadir,
Here.
Trustee Derblick is not here at the moment. Trustee Schoenfeld is absent with prior notice. Treasurer Vitello,
Present.
Secretary Rosansky is absent with prior notice. Vice President Trunco,
Here.
President Keen.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to motion or make an amendment to the agenda that we move payment of the bills up to the next item before public comment in case Trustee Kadir needs to leave. We can at least pay the bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I second. I second, yeah.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Oh,
President Keen was first, who seconded?
I did.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to make a motion, to recommend the motion of, I'd like to make a motion to approve operating expenses of $175,757.64, payroll expenses of $264,744.67, special reserve expenses of $82,912.13, for a total monthly expense of $523,414.44.
I second.
Any questions? Okay, Margaret, when you're ready.
Trustee Kadir,
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello,
Yes.
Vice President Trunco,
Yes.
President Keen.
Yes.
Four to zero passes.
For public comment, I call Elliot Osherman.
Do this alphabetically?
Thank you for waiting.
Of course. Good evening, Board. This is Elliot Osherman. Several meetings ago, I mentioned that in the future, my public comments will be dealing with lies, damned lies, statistics, and hypocritical behavior. I indicated at the first meeting where I discussed that phrase that in future public comments, I would provide quite specific instances where these occurred, including specific dates and the times within that meeting where it occurred. I was challenged by a board member to be factual. At the last board meeting, I did exactly that regarding cases where she failed to allow fellow board members to speak while she was the presiding officer, whether it was to call for the order of the day, or call for a point of order, or call for a point of information. Each of one of those are required by Robert's Rules of Order to need an interruption so that the requester can get things done properly and promptly. At the last meeting, I indicated I would do the same process regarding setting up an agenda, providing agenda items, or generating minutes, including what should be included and what should be excluded. Let's look at The Complete Idiot's Guide to Robert's Rules. This is the book authored by Nancy Sylvester, who did the parliamentary training for the board earlier this year. This is the book I quoted in 2022 when I copied several relevant pages on several issues and included them in that meeting's public comments. It says on page 204 what to put in the minutes and what to leave out. Quote, Roberts is equally clear about what should not be included in the minutes. The following should not be included. Quote, discussion. Minutes are a record of what was done at the meeting, not what was said at the meeting, unquote, and reports in detail. I have any number of times indicated that statements need not be quoted verbatim, and certainly long statements or comments should at best be summarized. Setting the agenda. Watch the long discussion on September 21, 2022 at about 2:44:00 on. Subject was rejection by the board president on proposed items being put on the agenda at a particular trustee's request. Trustee Rosansky asked if there was any way to have the agenda agreed on by the entirety of the board before being printed and submit it to newspapers and post it. Trustee, oops, no name, asked it to 4806, what would be served by that? Quote, it's not the procedure we follow, but thank you. Next election date is April 1, 2025. That's a mere 6 months and 12 days away, unless you vote early. At the next board meeting on October 16th, I'll be dealing with examples of statistics and hypocritical behavior and instances of disingenuousness. That means answering by providing an answer which, while factually true, is quite misleading in that it is incomplete or designed to distract the questioner. Oh, by the way, it's time to turn the page. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion
I
to
have
approve.
a suggestion before you make the motion, if the board is open to this, that you amend the motion or make a different motion to include approving all of the minutes at the same time, if you're open to that. Unless you want to do them all individually.
I'd like to make a motion to consent approve all the minutes for the 4 meetings on the agenda here for August 14th, the bylaws committee, August 19th, the special board meeting, August 28th, the public hearing for the tentative budget, and August 28th, regular board meeting.
A second.
I think I may have a question, actually. 1 second. And I know that we were given,
I did update the minutes for August 14th and August 19th, both
Okay.
in the packet online and what has been presented to the board here today. They had typos related to the date and the title of the meetings, but no content was changed.
Sounds good to me.
okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Can I take it?
Yep.
So this is for all 4 of the meetings, the meeting minutes.
Just what I want.
Trustee Kadir,
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello,
Yes.
Vice President Trunco,
Yes.
President Key.
Yes.
All 4 pass. 4-0 passes.
I'm gonna move up new business.
That's what I was just gonna ask.
So we can do that in case I have to leave early.
Okay.
So all, everything under items 11, and then we can proceed with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 after that.
A second.
Okay, so we're gonna move up 11.
Yep.
Trustee Kadir,
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello,
Yes.
Vice President Trunco,
Yes.
President Key.
Yes.
And if I may just recap, Vice President Trunco, you motioned, am I correct?
No,
Yeah.
trustee Kadir
Kadir.
motion.
I'm
I
on.
second.
And you second, I got it reversed, thank you,
Yeah, it's just 11A, B, C, D, E, F.
got it.
So for 11A, I move to discuss and possibly take action on the proposal to remodel the lower level.
Second. So we have the memorandum from Rich about the proposal for the basement. And the quotes from the companies that came in at the lowest one was $23,190 from Peterson Company. No, I'm on the wrong thing.
Sorry, which page are we on?
I was on page 65, is that not the right thing?
That's, yeah, but this is to expand creative studio makerspace, add more study rooms.
Oh, right, okay.
Valerie, could you?
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Sure, what the board would be voting on, if the board agrees, we would like to re-engage with product architecture and design for a lower level remodel as opposed to going out in search of the bid process or a request for proposals, because we have an existing relationship with product architecture and design. They have done good work for us in the past. They work with other libraries, and they already have all of the information from our previous remodel that they did, and this is a minor remodel where we are looking to add a couple more study rooms in the lower level and increase the creative studio, but it's not a full remodel of that space.
I have
So-
no issue with that. I have no issue with that.
So that's the gist of
Yeah,
it.
thank you, I was just getting the 2 pages, I thought they were together. They're not.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
So
We
we
don't
don't have
have
a
a
number yet.
cost to propose, we just want to know if the board is okay with us re-engaging this vendor.
So I do have a question on that. Was this something, this particular project, was this budgeting for, was this in our budget for this year?
Yes.
So I would want to put it with the caveat that as long as we do not exceed the budget for the budget line item, that you don't have to come back to us. If we exceed the budget line item, then you should come back for approval and let us know why that's the case. Does that work, Rich?
No, this legal, we're looking for $25,000.
Yeah, so we budgeted about 150,000 for the project.
You have to come back to us over 25, right?
Unless you approve not to exceed 150,000 at this meeting.
I'd still like to see the.
Oh, absolutely, but those are the two options. We would
Yeah,
either bring back the proposal to you, or you could approve not to exceed 150,000 at this point.
I think we should see the proposal again once it's back.
So the process would work like this. We would re-engage with product.
Right.
We have meetings.
Can I pause you for a second? Do you mind stepping to the table so
Sure.
it's on the recording? Thank you so much.
I mean, you'll hear me. I'll stand right here. Yeah, so the process would be that we would re-engage with product architecture. The staff would meet with them, go through the list of what we would like to address in the space. They would come up with a few designs, and then we'd bring it to the board and say, this is what we're looking to do. That would go out to bid for subcontractors, or probably a general to run it. And then the board would then approve that. So it's a whole big process. This is the first step. And since product has done the work in the existing interior, it just makes sense to reuse it.
Thank you.
So, unless the board would like to look out, and go through the interview process and
No,
the RFP process and find another architect. So, but our existing relationship with them has been very good. So.
And they have expressed interest in working
They
with
did.
us.
I asked them, I'm not gonna ask the board if they are not interested, they are interested to help us out with this.
That's fine.
I'd like to-
All right. So we get a vote?
We need to make a motion.
No, didn't we move?
Well, how about possible action, so do we still need
Okay.
to?
Yeah, I think you need to amend the motion, and the amendment I recommend is I move to re-engage with product architecture and design for a lower level remodel.
I move to re-engage with, I move to approve re-engagement of product architecture and design for a lower level remodel.
Second.
I got it. Trustee Kadir motion or made the amendment, and trustee Trunco seconded, and let's see. Hold on, just a moment, please. Trustee Kadir?
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello?
Yes.
Vice President Trunco?
Yes.
President Hughes?
Yes.
4-0 passes.
I'd like to make a motion on a proposal for parking lot repairs and maintenance. The expenditure not to exceed $23,190 to R.A. Peterson Company, Rapco, Inc. I would assume that's what it says on that page.
Yeah.
From the Special Reserve Fund for parking lot repairs and maintenance.
I second. That was the most bid, right?
Yeah.
Got the 23,000 in?
Rich, did they give you like a timeline of how long it would take to get this completed?
So it's one day to do the work.
Oh,
And
not
then later in the day, we can open up those particular stalls, and the driving lanes. So we'll have to contact Niles in case we want to redirect the free bus for that particular day. And in the spring, they would come back to seal coat. The seal coating would be a 2-day process. It's a 24-hour dry is to keep the library open. We would do the front of the building and have the ability for people to park over here and walk on the sidewalk to get in. And then obviously we would close the front, or close the side here and have the front available. So it would be a 2-day process. And that's built into this.
Anyone else have questions?
All set?
Yeah.
Okay. Trustee Kadir?
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello?
Yes.
Vice President Trunco?
Yes.
President King?
Yes.
4-0 passes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve hiring Village Plumbing and Sewer Services, Inc. to replace a broken window well sewer drain line at a cost not to exceed $19,000.
I second.
I have a question on the motion. Is that coming out of special reserves also? Is that regular? I'm gonna add in there, a motion to approve the hiring of Village Plumbing and Sewer Services, Inc. to replace a broken window well sewer drain line at the cost not to exceed $19,000 out of special reserve fund. Out of the special reserve fund.
That is coming out of special reserve, Rich?
Yeah, he can
Okay.
say
Yes,
yes.
correct.
I didn't see your nod, sorry. I second.
Anyone have questions for Rich? Doesn't sound like it. Okay.
Broken's gotta be fixed.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems, excessive, but the fact is that they need to trench in, approximately 20 feet and
Oh,
12
wow.
feet deep. So, and that's through the asphalt and the concrete, so it just adds up.
Makes sense to me.
All set? Trustee Kadir?
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello?
Yes.
Vice President Trunco?
Yes.
President King?
Yes.
4-0 passes.
Okay. I move to discuss policy regarding anonymous letters sent to the library. That's page 72.
Valerie, would you like to clue in the public on what that's
Is
about?
there a second?
Second.
Sorry.
Okay, so the library at times has received letters sent to either myself or a board member from anonymous senders who do not request for them to be read into public comment. Therefore, I would like to discuss how to handle these letters when they come in. And I have included in the packet a policy from another library related to the receipt of anonymous letters and would like the board to consider adopting such a policy.
Yeah, I think everybody has a right to make public comment or send us letters or email us. I know we've gotten calls and emails to our library emails here and our lines here, but I think that if people want to make comments and they want to send anonymous letters, it'd be nice if we were able to address them as well and maybe start a dialogue with people so that way we could address their concerns instead of just having false attacks levied upon all of us. So I think it's important that we, it's us, it's our staff, it's everybody, so I think it's important that we adopt something like what we have here, and maybe it's something that the policy committee, that is the next thing to talk about, can take up and maybe do something of that nature.
I think it's good. I like the example that Valerie has given us because it gives us a time limit on how long we have to keep them as well. And also lets the public and the people who are sending them know what's gonna happen to them. I don't think I've ever gotten one that was friendly. I've gotten plenty of other ones.
They're not anonymous when they're
They're anonymous to some degree, but, so I am in favor of adopting something like this, but it does say policy example, okay, so it would be included in the policies then, right?
It would, what we could do is potentially bring this to a policy committee, or I could just change the wording of this and include our library's name as opposed to this library's name, and you could choose to adopt this policy this evening. Or at a future board meeting without it going to committee, it's up to the board.
We probably can't take action on adopting it because it only says discuss. It
Yeah,
doesn't say
right.
any
Exactly.
possible action on the agenda.
That is true.
Yeah, so I would say then, put it together and put it to the policy committee, because the
Okay,
policy
policy
committee is gonna be formed tonight, then there's no reason for the whole board to vote on this until the policy committee opines on it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Roberta?
Yes, I'm gonna give it.
So, next,
Assignment of policy committee.
not really a motion, right?
No,
Move to
it's,
discuss it, or I guess?
well, if you would
Yeah.
have anything to say before I appoint people.
No.
Okay, I would like to make you chair of the policy committee.
Okay, fair enough. I knew that was coming. All right, I'll take it.
Will you accept?
I do accept.
Thank you. I also spoke with trustee Roseanne, well, I didn't speak with her, I was messaging with trustee Rosansky, who is sick tonight. She's also interested in being on the policy committee. I know you said you were interested, but we also have a finance committee that's gonna be starting soon, so maybe it would be better for you to wait for that since you're the treasurer. Does that make sense
Yes,
to you?
absolutely.
Okay, so I would like to appoint trustee Kadir as the chairman of the policy committee and secretary Rosansky as part of the committee, and then that's all we can have is two, right?
In the
And
new-
yourself, right?
In the new bylaws, and you're allowed to appoint as much as you like, but we had talked about only having one trustee per committee just to spread it out. But if
Ah.
two trustees are interested, I have absolutely no
Okay.
problem with that.
Then let's do that for this one, and then we can, because they,
And you want me as a committee member and not a
Yes.
staff liaison?
No, staff liaison.
That is your choice. Or you
what's the
could
major
appoint-
impact of the differences?
If
yeah.
I am officially a
Remind me.
committee member, then I cannot discuss with whoever else is on the committee anything
Staff
that is
liaison.
staff liaison.
Thank you.
Would you also like Assistant Director Luce to be on the committee, or potentially in the future, different committees?
Potentially in the future, yeah.
Perfect,
Do you want to be on the committee?
for policy. You can always come to the meetings. and
Okay,
not-
that's perfect.
Okay.
But
All
if you
right.
want to have a say in the parts of it, then you have to be on it.
I'll just attend. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, trustee Kadir.
Thank you.
Discuss tentative date options for levy training. We do this with such little of the board here, or?
Yeah, I think we should defer that, because we're talking about 3 trustees who are not having input.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
so I move to table that till the next meeting.
I second.
And we cannot have executive session to review meeting minutes because they are not here. So we have
Yeah.
to go back to
To number
Treasurer's report.
trustee, treasurer's report, yeah.
6 through 10.
Treasurer Patello?
Thank you, Madam President. I have the financial report ending on August 31st, 2024. I'm going to start by reading off the balance as of July 31st, 2024. At that time, we had $15,740,017. The breakup for this period with revenue, property taxes came in at $1,795,154. Replacement taxes, $8,809. Investment income, $49,186. Fines, $7. Books, lost books, $151. Pay for print, $616. Book sales, $1,395. Passports, $6,722. And other at $409. Subtotal there is $1,862,449. Moving on with expenditures, that includes employee salaries at $268,645. Employee fringe benefits at $47,311. Social Security, $19,955. Unemployment, $302. Subtotal there is $336,213. Additionally, we have operating expenses that consist of library materials at $35,842. Library operating at $12,771. General and administration, $23,026. Vehicle operations, $47. Utilities, $9,556. Capital expenditures, 82,912. Building and equipment maintenance at 5,953, giving us a subtotal of 170,107. Now, to wrap up, the general fund balance from the August 31st balance sheet reads at $17,050,657. Madam President, any questions, board?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I did want to say one thing. This is more of a comment, but as many of you will probably have been made aware, there were some changes at the federal level with regards to interest rates. So I'm anticipating that our income investment is going to have a negative impact based on what happened with the federal level. So those numbers are going to change, unfortunately, for us.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee reports?
Nope.
Okay. Executive director's report?
Okay, I have to step out for a moment.
Sure.
I only have two things in addition to my written report. The first thing is that a request for proposals for strategic planning services has been posted on the library's website,
Okay, cool.
and proposals are due October 4th. And I am also sending it out to, I believe, 5 or 6 vendors that have been recommended by other libraries, but I welcome any proposals that come.
That's exciting.
It is.
Very.
And the second thing I wanted to share, I did email the board about this, but the ILA trustee day for the conference in Peoria is October 10th. And we do need to have registrations in by September 26th. So if anyone is interested, please email myself and Mark.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions for Hillary on the Hill report? Statistics or highlights?
Everything's looking good.
So we've got, just one question. We've got a couple of promotions and moves, and we're looking for a new supervisor. All that is posted, I assume, and
So
any comments on any of those individual, just for the public's benefit?
Sure. We have been lucky enough to be able to hire an outside material services clerk who will be starting, when are they starting, Victoria?
23rd.
The 23rd. And we're very excited about that. We also are working on additional positions to be hired that have not been posted yet, but will be posted in the next couple of weeks. The next positions to be hired will be the assistant supervisor for facilities and IT services that will report to Rich. And we should have a decision related to an adult services supervisor within the next 2 weeks. We will have interviews through the end of this week for that position.
Oh, good.
So that's exciting for us.
So it looks like Sumaya and Desiree just swapped roles, essentially?
It wasn't intended that way, but yes, that's how it
Okay.
worked out. Mhm.
Cool.
And we're excited to work with their needs and school schedules and things of that
Right.
nature and still
Okay.
help the library be functional. There's another position going up soon along with Rich's assistant supervisor. I'm trying to think of what it is.
Material services.
Yes, materials services cataloging assistant will be posted soon as well. And then we will be hiring 4 youth services assistants, 3 positions before December. So that's our trajectory so far. We're moving forward with hiring very quickly and we're trying to backfill positions. So as soon as we have the material services cataloging assistant in place, then Victoria will be working on hiring her replacement as the supervisor of that department.
Okay.
So lots of good, positive movement in hirings, and staff morale is really up because they see us hiring and we're recognizing internal talent.
Cool, excellent.
Yeah, very good.
Great.
I'm gonna move to table the Serving Our Public 4.0, this There's only 4 trustees here, so it'd be good if we do that when more individuals are around.
I'll second that.
Yeah, Margaret's just having it.
Oh, got it.
I think you can just do an, yea or nay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
Okay. And last is the IPLAR report.
Does anyone have any questions on the IPLR, or do you wanna?
No, no questions.
Nope.
All right,
Thank you.
and that's everything?
All right.
Do we have any unfinished business?
I believe so.
No.
No other?
Does any, well?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone have other?
No.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the September library board meeting at 7:34 PM.
I second.
Trustee Kadir?
Yes.
Treasurer Vitello?
Yes.
Vice President Trunco?
Yes.
And President Keating?
Yes.
And so it passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.